Hello, Enrico. How are you doing today?
Hey, Maciej, my friend, it's such a pleasure to see you. I'm doing amazing, thanks. I just finished a big session of training with one partner, and I just am full of energy for this
Mm,
day. But tell me a little bit. I'm just so curious today. What is happening? I've heard that you have something interesting to share. I'm so curious.
I hope so. I hope so. I want to share some learning that I made my last years actually, but recently I was thinking a lot about this, and this is all about how to give effective status updates. So I will share you a link also for Mark Rogers' article, which I found very, very good. But this article was like a trigger for me because I started thinking more and more about this. Since couple years, I had a lot of successes, I can say, in my work. About like very many managers I was co-working with used to say that, I really like to work with you. I like what you are doing. And I was thinking, what is the reason? Because definitely I'm not the best engineer they ever saw or something like this. And I also see a lot of people around who are not worse than me, maybe even better in many different aspects. But from some reason, I really see that managers like to work with me. And after this article, I found out that probably this is about my status updates, because very often people like also bold this, uh, giving me feedback that I really like what you are doing. And now let me tell what I'm doing. So what is the case? So the case is that we as an engineers, we are really focused on our work. We really like to deliver stuff, do some, hacky thing somewhere there. Just sometimes we have also this tendency to close in our word, don't see anything else until we are done, and then we can like present you gladly that what we made. But I guess the world is not working like this, and people from the outside of our inner world really want to know what we are working on or with, because this really matters. And it's not all about like monitoring whether we are wasting time or something like this. It's much more about we are working in a groups, we are working in a teams, and other people are also relying on our work. So let's imagine that you are a manager, you have like six developers under your control, or maybe not control even, but working on the same project, but you are responsible for this project, which means that you really want to know who is working on what, on which part of this project. And this is why it is so dramatically important to report some kind of statuses on what you are working. And very often I saw this pattern in my career, that someone is joining the new company, start working on something. Of course, on the beginning, it's especially hard. Didn't talk to anyone else because, he's dramatically concentrated on, I need to understand what these people are working on, what is this code and about and stuff like this. And the person tried to like return with some update after a couple weeks, which is really too long. So how to give effective status updates? First of all, I guess you should think about your audience. So who is this updates for? Always communicate with the managers, the closest one you have. If you have like a project manager, be in touch with this. Also with your team, like other developers. Giving some timely updates is really important. It not must be like every single day or every single hour or something like this, but it definitely can't be too long. So Marco was writing that, if you are not doing any communication for a week, it's definitely too long. So 2-3 days at least, I guess you should make some meaningful information what you are working on. Usually the faster or earlier the better. And how I'm doing this, the best way I found is short videos. Short videos, because on the videos you can show much more than describe something or or talk about this. If you can make a 1-2 minute video when you show what you change in the project or in the system, it's really amazing. Everyone will watch this video with curiosity and will be happy to see what is the outcome of your work. If you can do this because you are still working on something, it's also good to make like a short communication. You know, people, I'm working on this. If someone want to help me or pair with me, it's good. Not always we need help. I need more time, but I'm working on this. This is also enough. I'm not especially happy about making commitments. This is also something I made in the past. Like, you know, teams used to say every single day, my commitment is, for me, it's not working actually, because usually people are, so you are thinking what I will be working on, and then in 90% you are working on something different because then you have some bug or something other to resolve. So I guess this part only stress people. What makes sense for me is once you are working on something, just inform what you are working on. Right now I'm working on this, or I'm gonna start this topic. And this is enough. If you finish something, record a short video. Here is also one hint, you can do this using Slack. You don't need any external tools, but if you want to be more pro, you can use Loom or something like this. What also worked for me in the past is like once I finish the task, I make a short demo. I say like today at 2 p.m. I will present what we built in terms of blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, whoever wants to join can join and see. And the first part of this demo is like show what has been built. If there are developers there and they want to get some details, you can also leave this people on the meeting and show them details. Like I made these decisions. This is the architecture I delivered, stuff like this. So these are my learnings, and I really think this matters, because when you communicate with other people, you are just a better engineer.
Wow, Maciej, this is insane. I love it. I heard a lot of different things, but I feel like the one that is most impressive to me is communication. We speak a lot together about this, right? About how is it important for a developer to not only be the techie guy that is writing code behind the keyboard, but to make sure that people are aware about what is happening. And I really enjoyed what you said, you know, to keep a constant communication, make sure that people are aware when you're starting something and people are aware when you finish something. And then this thing that you explain about the short video, I feel like it's very interesting. You know, it's a body language is such a great tool for communicating to people, right? You can write 1,000 words, but you can record 10-second video and people will, you know, immediately understand where you come from and what are your emotional states. So this is so interesting. Thank you. Maybe something that I was thinking while you were talking is, how do you cope with a ticket? I guess you use something like Jira or GitLab to track your tickets. Then how do you relate what you just said with the ticket? Like, do you feel like it's a kind of double work to take a ticket, put it on, you know, from the to do on the doing column, and at the same time communicating? Or do you feel like it's just two different sides of the process?
Very good question. Thanks for making that. I guess ticketing system is like a standard these days, and it should be done either way, which means that always you should make it explicit somewhere that you are joining or moving something to doing a column or whatever. But usually it's also not enough, because me as an engineer, I'm not following everything what happens on our dashboard or something like this all the time, and also not the other people. Also think about this. If you are making communication like via video, it's not only for one person. This is like how this saves so much time. You can publish this in a place where also like your CEO will watch this, other people, maybe investors. What's the biggest benefit is that when you are presenting something in IT world, it's really hard to present something in descriptive way. Combine this with the video where in 10 seconds, I will show you exactly what has been done and how is it working. So I like this little piece of redundancy that I'm moving the ticket, but also I'm saying to the team, now I'm gonna work on this, or I'm starting this topic working for us.
This is mind-blowing. It's fun that you mentioned this, because our team is new and we work together since 6 weeks. And the first feedback that we received is that our user story and the transparency about what we were working on wasn't the best. And so I think that I'm going to apply your suggestion and try to be more transparent on the communication side on our channel to communicate to people when we are starting to do a certain work or when we end. So thank you so much for your input, Maciej. This was amazing insight, and I will use it for sure in my work.
Cheers.
Ciao.